essential pillars to rely on in old age for a happier, healthier, and more meaningful life. What if losing just one key pillar could quietly unravel everything you've built in your later years? As we grow older and life begins to slow down, the foundation we once relied on begins to shift. Aging isn't just about how many birthdays you've celebrated or what you've accomplished. It's about what you've managed to hold on to when everything else begins to fade. In this video, we're going to explore 6 essential pillars that help you stay grounded, fulfilled, and at peace during your golden years. These aren't luxuries. They're life essentials. They're the roots that hold you steady when the winds of aging blow hardest. If you lose them, you risk slipping into loneliness, regret, or a life that feels disconnected. But if you hold them close, your days can be filled with clarity, purpose, and meaningful connection. So if you've ever found yourself wondering, what truly matters most as I age, you're in the right place. And be sure to stick around until the very end, because that final pillar is the one most people overlook. And yet, it might just transform the way you experience this next chapter of life. Let's get started. Number 1, physical independence, the foundation of freedom in later life. There's something quietly powerful about being able to care for yourself, to rise in the morning on your own, to walk across the room with steady steps, to pour your own cup of coffee and start your day with dignity, one quiet act at a time. This right here is what we call physical independence. It's not about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's about staying in command of your body, and in many ways, your life. But let's be honest, this is often the first pillar to quietly shift. You may notice your legs feel weaker than before. You stand up a little slower. A stumble that didn't matter 5 years ago suddenly makes you think twice. So you begin doing less, fewer steps, fewer outings, fewer chances to move. And this is how it starts, not with a loud crash, but with a whisper. The good news? You're not helpless in the face of change. You can protect your mobility and reclaim your confidence. A study from the Journal of Geriatrics found that adults over 65 who commit to just 30 minutes of light physical activity daily can reduce their risk of falls, hip fractures, and cognitive decline by nearly 45%. Think about that. Nearly half the risk by simply moving your body each day. And when we say physical independence, we're not just talking about muscles. We're talking about self-respect, freedom, and the ability to still feel like you. Let me tell you about someone who understands this better than most. Mr. Raymond Carter, an 81-year-old veteran from Asheville, North Carolina. Raymond lives alone in the house he and his wife bought back in 1978. After she passed away 6 years ago, something inside him dimmed. He stopped going out, stopped tending the little backyard garden she loved so much. I felt like a guest in my own life, he told me. But what really pushed Raymond to move again wasn't the silence. It was fear. One evening, after a long day in his recliner, he tried to stand and stumbled. Not a fall, no injury, but enough to make him stop and think, what if next time I can't get up? That thought haunted him more than the loneliness. I didn't want to become someone who waits around to be helped out of bed, he said. I needed to know I could still take care of myself. That mattered more than anything. So he made a promise, just 10 minutes a day, every day. Raymond started small. Holding the back of a chair, he practiced heel raises, lifting onto his toes, holding steady, then lowering back down. Then he added seated leg extensions, one leg at a time, slow and controlled. While watching TV, he'd do 5 sets, then 10. Week by week, his confidence grew. By the 3rd week, he was walking to the mailbox without his cane. By week 6, he was back in his garden, barefoot in the dirt, humming to the tomatoes. Today, Raymond tends that garden every morning and volunteers at the local VA center twice a week. His legs aren't what they used to be, but his independence? Unshakable. When I asked him what changed, he smiled and said, I started acting like my body still belonged to me. And little by little, it listened. Now I want to ask you, have you ever felt that same fear, that one fall, one missed step could change everything? If so, you're not alone. But more importantly, you're not powerless. Here are a few simple ways you can start moving. Today, a short walk around your home, 10 minutes of chair yoga or stretching, balancing on one foot while brushing your teeth, even just standing up and sitting down slowly, 5 times, twice a day. These aren't just exercises. They're small daily votes for your strength, for your freedom, for you. Because when your body listens to you, you move better, you feel stronger, you remember who you are. So tell me, What's one small way you can move with intention today? Leave your answer in the comments. You might just inspire someone else to take their first step too. And if this story of Raymond resonated with you, tap that like button, share this message with someone you care about, and subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where we don't just talk about aging, we celebrate growing wiser, stronger, and more alive together. Let's keep moving, because the next pillar we'll explore lives deeper inside the heart. Are you with me? Essential pillar number 2, emotional strength, the quiet power that carries you through. Not all strength shows up in muscles. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet never raise their voice. They don't shout. They don't fight, but they endure. This is emotional strength, the kind that lets you stand tall even when your world feels like it's falling apart. In our later years, this pillar becomes not just valuable, it becomes essential. Because aging, as beautiful as it can be, comes with its own series of losses. The loss of friends, of roles we used to play, sometimes even of purpose. And yet some people still smile, still share, still love. How? They've built an inner resilience, a kind of quiet armor that doesn't block emotion, but holds space for it. It's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about learning how to live fully, even when everything isn't. According to the Harvard Aging Study, older adults who develop emotional regulation skills, the ability to understand, process, and express their emotions, tend to sleep better, experience stronger immune responses, and report higher life satisfaction. Emotional strength isn't the absence of pain. It's the ability to carry it with grace. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Helen Alvarez, an 83-year-old former librarian from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Helen lost her husband, Paul, 3 years ago. After 56 years of marriage, they had shared everything. A garden, a book club, quiet evenings by the fireplace with classical music playing low. And then, silence. She told me, "At first I didn't know what to do with all that quiet. I missed his voice, even his snoring." But Helen didn't disappear into her grief. She walked with it, literally. Each morning, she tied on her walking shoes and strolled the old neighborhood trail where she and Paul used to walk together. Same path, same trees, new pace. Sometimes she cried, sometimes she just breathed, but she moved. Then one day, her granddaughter Ava asked if she could join her, and Helen, without thinking twice, handed her a book of poetry and said, "Only if we read a little along the way." Now every Tuesday and Friday, you'll find Helen and Ava walking that same path, taking turns reading poems aloud, laughing, remembering, healing. Helen told me something that still stays with me. Grief never really leaves you, but it walks a little lighter when you stop trying to carry it alone. That, my friend, is emotional strength. Not hiding your pain, not drowning in it either, but letting it walk beside you while you keep going. So let me ask you this. When you're sad, do you let yourself cry? Or do you carry that weight quietly, thinking you have to be strong for everyone else? And more importantly, who walks with you on your hardest days? If that question made your chest tighten just a little, that's okay. It just means there's still something inside you that wants healing. Here's something small you can try. Start a morning check-in with yourself. Ask, what am I feeling today? Take 5 minutes to write one honest sentence in a notebook, or talk aloud to someone you trust, even if that someone is just a photograph or a prayer. And when you're ready, take a walk. Let your feelings move through you, not trap you. Because emotional strength isn't about keeping it all in. It's about giving your emotions somewhere to go without letting them drive the whole bus. And when you practice this kind of quiet strength, something amazing happens. You become a safe space, not just for yourself, but for those around you. So tell me, what helps you stay emotionally strong these days? Is it prayer? Nature? Talking to a grandchild? Leave a comment and let us know. Someone else might be needing that exact thing today. And if Helen's story moved you, if you saw even a piece of yourself in her gentle courage, next we'll explore a pillar that offers something just as vital: security. Not in the heart, but in the wallet. Because peace of mind includes knowing you'll be okay, financially too. Let's talk about it. Essential pillar number 3, financial stability, the quiet freedom of being prepared. There's a kind of peace that money can't buy, but having your finances in order comes pretty close. In your later years, financial stability doesn't mean being wealthy. It means being free. Free from anxiety. Free from asking for help when you'd rather not. Free to say yes to the small joys that make life worth living. Because let's be honest, money problems hit harder with age. It's not just about the bills, it's about the stress, the loss of control, the silent shame that too many older adults carry alone. And yet the impact is not just emotional, it's biological. The World Health Organization found that seniors who feel financially secure report 30% lower rates of depression. They sleep better. They visit the doctor when they need to, not when they can afford to. They enjoy life more fully because they're not constantly calculating every dollar. Let me introduce you to Mr. Lewis Bennett, a 78-year-old retired postal worker living in Tacoma, Washington. Lewis never made a six-figure income. He never invested in the stock market. But what he did do every month for 40 years was simple. He paid his bills, put a little away, and never spent more than he had. Today, Lewis lives modestly on his pension and Social Security. His house is paid off. His fridge is full. And every birthday, without fail, he sends each of his 5 grandchildren a crisp $10 bill and a handwritten note. Not much, he says, but it lets them know I'm thinking of them. That's the power of stability, not extravagance, but presence, dignity. When I asked him how he feels about money now, he said, "It doesn't control me, and that means I get to enjoy the things that matter most, without fear." That's a kind of wealth no stock portfolio can match, because here's the thing. Financial stability isn't just about surviving, it's about choosing. Choosing to buy fresh fruit at the farmer's market, choosing to fix your glasses without putting it off, choosing to treat your granddaughter to ice cream, just because. So let me ask you honestly, are you in control of your finances, or are they in control of you? If the answer feels uncomfortable, know this: it's never too late to start small. Track your spending for a week. Call your bank and ask about automatic savings plans. Meet with a financial counselor. Many nonprofit groups offer this free of charge. And if you've already got things in place, maybe it's time to teach someone younger what you've learned. Because stability doesn't end with you. It ripples outward to your children, your community, and your peace of mind. If this message resonated with you, if you're living proof that a simple, stable life is a good life, let us know in the comments. What's one money habit you're proud of? Someone else might just need to hear it. Next, we'll explore a pillar that speaks not to your wallet, but to your worth. Because we all want to feel seen, valued, and respected, no matter our age. One more step awaits. Essential pillar number 4. The deep human need to be seen, heard, and valued. There's a kind of silence that hurts more than noise, not being criticized, but being ignored. As we grow older, we don't just worry about our health or finances. We start to wonder, do I still matter? Do people still want to hear what I think? Am I still seen? Or have I become invisible? This isn't just an emotional whisper. It's a deeply human need to feel useful, to feel respected, to feel like we still have something to offer. And guess what? You do. You always have. The Journal of Positive Aging found that seniors who regularly share stories, advice, or life experiences with younger generations experience higher dopamine levels, better moods, and a stronger sense of purpose. And it makes sense, doesn't it? We weren't made to fade away. We were made to pass things on. Wisdom, tradition, laughter, love. Let me tell you about Mrs. Rose Kaplan, an 84-year-old grandmother from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Every afternoon around 3 p.m., her living room fills with sound. Not from the TV, not from the radio, but from the voices of her 3 grandkids sitting cross-legged on the floor, asking her questions like, Grandma, what did you do when you liked someone at school? How did you know Grandpa was the one? Is it true people used to write letters by hand? Rose laughs every time. Then she tells them stories. Stories about dances in the 1950s, about how their grandfather proposed with a paper ring, about the time she burned a turkey and pretended it was extra smoky on purpose. One day her grandson said, "Grandma, you tell better stories than YouTube." That one sentence, it lit her up in a way no vitamin ever could, because that's what recognition does. It reminds us we still matter, we still belong, we still hold value. And the beauty of this pillar is it doesn't require anyone's permission. You can start by recognizing yourself. Write down the lessons life has taught you. Record a voice memo for your grandchildren. Offer your insight in a conversation instead of holding back. Tell your story, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because it's yours to tell. So let me ask you, when was the last time someone asked for your advice and you felt truly heard? And more importantly, when was the last time you offered it unapologetically. If you believe you still have something to give, and I know you do, comment below with these words: I am still living with purpose. Because you are, and your voice is needed, now more than ever. And if Rose's story brought a smile to your face, if it reminded you that your experiences are worth more than gold, please like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, a place where wisdom never gets old and being seen starts with being heard. Up next, we'll talk about the invisible glue that holds us all together: connection. Because no one is meant to walk this life alone. Let's keep going. Together. Essential pillar number 5. Social connection, the lifeline of the aging soul. There's a kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being alone. It comes from feeling unseen, from going a whole day or week without a real conversation, from not hearing your own name said with warmth. In our younger years, connection is everywhere. At work, with kids, through busy days filled with noise. But in later life, we have to choose connection. We have to reach for it, because if we don't, the silence creeps in. And silence, over time, doesn't just break the heart, it changes the brain. According to the Harvard longevity study, older adults with at least 3 close personal connections live on average 7 years longer than those without. Not just longer, but better, happier, sharper, more alive. Because connection isn't just emotional, it's medicine. Let me share the story of Mr. Gerald Brooks, 86, from Salem, Oregon. Every afternoon, right after his cup of chamomile tea, Gerald picks up the phone and calls his best friend, Walter, someone he's known since 1955. They don't talk about anything fancy. Sometimes they read poetry aloud to each other. Sometimes they talk about the weather or old jazz records. But every single day they laugh. Every single day they say, "I'm glad you're still around." Gerald once said, "That phone call, it's like opening a window in my soul. I remember who I am just by hearing his voice." That's what connection does. It anchors us. It tells us you still belong. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't need a crowd. Just 1 or 2 people you can speak to with honesty, without a mask. If you don't have that yet, it's never too late to build it. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Join a small community group. Even online. Invite a neighbor over for tea. Start small, but start. Because your voice deserves to be heard. Your laughter still matters, and your stories still have a place. So let me ask you gently, do you have someone you can talk to, really talk to, every day? If the answer is yes, cherish that connection. If the answer is no, make today the day you take the first step. And if this part of the video touched your heart, if it reminded you of someone you should call today, please click like, share this video with them, and subscribe to Golden Wise Elders. Because this isn't just a channel. It's a circle of voices, a community that sees you and walks with you. In our next and final pillar, we'll explore something most people forget, but that may be the one thing that brings all the others together, the courage to keep saying yes to life. But we're not done yet. Essential pillar number 6, emotional stability, the grace of inner calm. There's a certain beauty in growing older, a quiet wisdom that comes not from knowing all the answers, but from knowing which battles are no longer worth fighting. This is emotional stability, and in the later chapters of life, it's more than a personality trait. It's a gift to yourself and to everyone around you. You see, as we age, the world doesn't necessarily get easier, but how we respond to it, that can change everything. Emotional stability means learning when to let go, when to pause, when to choose peace over pride. According to the American Heart Association, seniors who cultivate calmness and manage emotional stress experience a significantly lower risk of stroke and heart disease. Why? Because your heart listens when your mind is overwhelmed, and your body carries the weight of every unspoken frustration. Let me introduce you to Mr. Charles Emery, 82, from Charleston, South Carolina. Charles has been married to his wife, Lillian, for 59 years. They love each other deeply, but like any couple, there are moments when tempers rise over something as small as a misplaced remote or a forgotten errand. But Charles, he has a method. When tension starts to build, he doesn't raise his voice. He walks to the den, puts on his favorite Miles Davis record, and sits in his recliner, eyes closed, just listening. Jazz. Lillian calls it his calm down music, and by the time the 3rd track rolls in, the storm has passed. Not just in the room, but inside him. When I asked him why he never argues back, he said, "At this age, you realize peace is more important than being right, and sometimes silence says more than words ever could." That is emotional maturity. It doesn't mean you never feel anger. It means you don't let anger run the show. You pause, you breathe, you choose to respond, not react. And when you do, something shifts. Your relationships soften, your sleep deepens, your home becomes quieter, not because no one speaks, but because everyone feels safe. So let me ask you, friend, have you ever regretted something you said in a moment of heat? A word that couldn't be taken back? A look that left a scar? If yes, you're not alone. We all have those moments. But here's the good news. Every day is a chance to choose differently. So today, when frustration knocks, try this. Pause for 10 seconds before responding. Step outside and take 3 deep breaths. Put on your calm down music, whatever that is for you. Or simply, choose silence with love. Because sometimes the strongest people aren't the loudest. They're the ones who know how to stay soft, even when life gets loud. If Charles's story reminded you of someone, or maybe reminded you of yourself, click like to honor that quiet strength. Share this message with someone who might need it today, and subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where growing older means growing wiser in the most beautiful way. And now, as we close this journey through 6 powerful pillars, stay with us for a heartfelt reflection. A final reminder that no matter your age, there is still time to live deeply, kindly, and fully. Let's go there together. So here we are. We've walked through 6 pillars, 6 quiet forces that hold up a life well lived in our later years. Physical independence, to move with dignity. Emotional strength, to carry what life gives you with grace. Financial stability, to live with freedom and peace of mind. The need to feel recognized and respected because your voice still matters. Social connection, to stay rooted in love and companionship. And emotional stability, the calm within when life gets loud outside. These aren't luxuries. They're not nice to have. They're the very foundation of a meaningful, joyful, and authentic life as we age. And maybe, as you listen today, you realize one of these pillars feels a little shaky. Maybe more than one. If that's true, don't feel ashamed. Feel empowered. Because recognizing what's missing, that's the first step toward building something stronger. So here's our gentle encouragement. Don't wait. Don't brush it off. Start nurturing your pillars, one small, loving action at a time. Take the walk. Make the call. Say yes to that new class. Open up. Write the story. Share your wisdom. Laugh more. Listen better. Forgive often. And above all, stay open to what life still wants to give you. And now, dear friend, if this video touched something in you, if it reminded you that you're not done yet, that you still have more to give, to feel, to become, please do 3 things. Leave a comment below and share which pillar you're working on right now. Your words may be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Tap that like button, not for us, but for you, as a quiet promise that you're choosing to keep growing. Subscribe to Golden Wise Elders and turn on the bell so you never miss a message made just for you. Because this isn't just a channel, it's a circle, a community, a place where age isn't a limitation. It's a credential. We're honored to walk this path with you. And remember, you are not alone. You are still becoming. And your best chapters might still be ahead. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, stay golden.